White flag raised. That off in the Grade 2 Railway Bar Lismullen Hurdle, featuring the previous two winners, Bob Olinger, home by the Lee, as they jumped the first flight at the end of the back straight. Zanahiyr, home by the Lee, followed by Eagle Fang and Maxim, tracked by Dawn Rising. Then Jatara, Bob Olinger, and the back marker in these early stages is Royal Eagle. Round the bend for flight number 2, Zanahiyr shows under a length in front of Maxim, stable companions, attended by Home by the Lee, and then Jatara, the mare taking closer order on the inside of Eagle Fang, with the back 3, Dawn Rising, Bob Olinger, and Royal Eagle. Almost at the completion of their first half mile. And the leader is Zanahiyr from Home by the Lee, edging back into second ahead of Maxim, then Jatara, Eagle Fang. Bob Olinger followed by Smart Flat Horse, Dawn Rising. And at the rear is Royal Eagle. Setting their sights on flight number 3, 1 of 2 on the home straight. Zanahiyr on the right, red cab, followed by Home by the Lee, then Jatara, Maxim, Eagle Fang. Racing together, Bob Olinger and Dawn Rising. And at the rear is Royal Eagle, heading for flight number 4. And it's Zanahiyr by over 2 lengths to Home by the Lee, Maxim. Jatara continues to work up to the leaders, and then Eagle Fang, Royal Eagle, Bob Olinger, Dawn Rising. Over the 4th, an unconventional jump by Zanahiyr, followed by Home by the Lee, Maxim. And then Jatara, Eagle Fang, Bob Olinger, Dawn Rising, and Royal Eagle. Finishing next time in the Railway Bar Lismullen Hurdle, over 2.5 miles to the bend they go. And they've really stacked up. It is Zanahiyr just with the edge now from Home by the Lee, Maxim. Then Jatara, Eagle Fang on the outside of Dawn Rising and Bob Olinger. And observing still from the rear is Royal Eagle. Flight number 5 at ballpark, the halfway stage. Slight mistake, Eagle Fang, as they swing a left to head down into the back straight. 6 flights left to jump. It's Zanahiyr who's made most of the running up to this point, followed by Home by the Lee and Maxim. These 3 covered by a couple of lengths, then Eagle Fang. Just shading the 4th from Jatara, then Bob Olinger, Dawn Rising, and Royal Eagle. Over the first of the flights down the far side. A little more than a mile to go. And it is Zanahiyr holding sway over Home by the Lee, Maxim, Eagle Fang. Wider than most is Dawn Rising, Jatara, followed by Bob Olinger and Royal Eagle. As they return to the point at which they started, 4 flights left to jump. The Railway Bar Lismullen Hurdle. And it is Zanahiyr just edging it still from Home by the Lee, Maxim, followed by Jatara, then Eagle Fang, Dawn Rising, Bob Olinger. Slight mistake, then Royal Eagle. 6 furlongs to go. Heading to the end of the back straight with 3 flights left to jump. Zanahiyr, joined by Home by the Lee and Maxim. They're covered by a length and a half, then Eagle Fang, Jatara, Bob Olinger onto their heels now. Nudged along as Dawn Rising, leaving behind Royal Eagle. The 3rd last flight coming up. As they rise, Zanahiyr, Home by the Lee, split by Maxim, then Eagle Fang. Bob Olinger is still edging that a little bit closer, and then Jatara pushed along at the tail end of the leading group as Dawn Rising, as they run round the home turn. And it is Home by the Lee taking it up from Eagle Fang, being followed by Maxim, and then Bob Olinger. Jatara is pushed and shoved along. Zanahiyr has cut out, coming towards the 2nd last. And it's Home by the Lee and Danny Mullins, Eagle Fang, Oakley Brown on the outside, and then Bob Olinger and Darragh O'Keefe. A bad mistake by Dawn Rising. They're in between the final 2 flights, and it's Home by the Lee. From on the outside is Eagle Fang, who's running a very big race, and then Bob Olinger trying to get to grips with them. 1 flight left to jump in the Railway Bar Lismullen Hurdle, and kicking away is Home by the Lee. Home by the Lee and Danny Mullins. from Bob Olinger, Dan O'Keefe and Eagle Fang. Oakley Brown over the last goes home by the Lee. Leads up the hill last year's winner Bob Olinger and then Eagle Fang. Then away from the remainder. Home by the Lee is pulling away from Bob Olinger as Home by the Lee reclaims the Lismullen from Bob Olinger and Eagle Fang.
It's another big winner for Danny Mullins, filling in for JJ Slevin on Home by the Lee. Danny, well done. JJ's even come up to the races to cheer you on today. Did he give you instructions as well?
In fairness to him now, JJ is a big part of all the winners I'm riding, and you know, even though he's here in a set of crutches, most lads wouldn't want to do it. He came, told me all about the horse. You know, he has his few little kinks, but he was very straightforward in what we've done today. That's a nice performance.
From an early stage, for a horse who can sometimes run in snatches, he seemed to be going really sweetly. Was that the way it was?
Yeah, he travelled like, I'd never ridden him before, but I've ridden against him enough to know that he'd normally be behind the bridle. But Joseph said he thought he was in a good place at home, and yeah, he's transferred that to the track today to beat a fair horse in Bob Olinger. You know, I'm only having first run of this season as well, so that's a good performance.
I know JJ's hoping to be back to ride him at Christmas. Do you think he will go the 3 mile route again? Because he didn't look short of gears there today, did he?
No, like he travelled and picked up well today. You know, the second was he in the entry hurdle, was at 2.5 there as well, so he's beaten solid grade 1 performers over 2.5. You have his Christmas option. You'd wonder, is the Hatton's Grace coming into the play now as well? That'll be Joseph's job, but I'm worried about that.
He'll be available, will he?
I'd say I will. You know, it's great to be riding these good horses and helping, you know, make it come together.
Danny, just before we let you go, how's the rest of the weekend looking for you?
It's looking good. What have I got today? Nürburgring Ring. I got a couple here tomorrow. I can't think of them off the top of my head now. Last night's homework was for today.
Yeah.
So.
Have you done any of the schooling on Nürburgring?
No, I haven't sat in them yet, but Joseph hasn't put me wrong so far, so I'd imagine he'll have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, so hopefully he can do the job.
We better let you away in. Well done.
Thank you.
Cheers, Dan. We might just see if we can have a quick word with the trainer after Home by the Lee's win. Joseph, I'd imagine absolutely thrilled by Home by the Lee. What a horse he's been for you.
Yeah, delighted, Gary. I thought coming here today that we were a little bit short of fitness, but he really went through the race with great enthusiasm. He jumped great, and yeah, delighted with him.
Yeah, that's as sweet as I've ever seen him travel, or certainly in recent memory. Did that take you aback almost?
Yeah, it was, but the tempo of the race was probably steady enough, and that gave him a chance to really get on the bridle, and he really enjoyed that. So yeah, but delighted to you know, he's obviously getting older, but he's retaining all his enthusiasm and talent, and he'll probably go through a similar path to last year.
I was just going to ask you about that. He's not in the Hatton's Grace. Would there be any temptation to supplement him after that?
I don't think so. I don't think so. He's best fresh and best with time between these races. So the timing from now to Christmas and then Christmas at Cheltenham, it probably is the logical path to them.
Good man. Banbridge and Solness coming up. Solness obviously got race fitness on his side, but Banbridge, obviously on everything we know about him, is the classier horse.
Yeah, I suppose Solness is running out of time with the good ground, so we've probably been a bit aggressive with him over his last couple of runs to keep getting him out, and he's here again today, and hopefully he collects some prize money again for the Bronson crew. He's given them great sport, and Banbridge obviously is a classy horse having his first run of the year. Lovely starting point for him, and hopefully he runs well.
Yeah, would you expect him to improve a fair bit for it?
Yeah, like mine usually will improve for the first run, but Home by the Lee was probably a bit more forward than I expected in the last race, so maybe this guy is too.
Good stuff. And finally, Nürburgring, very quick word about him later on over fences.
Yeah, sure, just taking a chance, seeing how he takes to the other discipline. He's always been a good jumping horse, so looking forward to seeing how he gets on.
As are we. Joseph, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Gary.
Cheers. Joseph O'Brien.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.